What's up, guys? Tugi here, back again with yet another episode of our new Islanders GM Mode series. And after, God, what time is it right now? So after sitting here watching just watching some stuff on YouTube, about 4 hours, about 4 hours or so, I've come to the exciting conclusion that after looking at so many teams, so many rosters, so many players, that we cannot reasonably make any trades. We could, but the amount, the assets we would have to give up to get anything decent right now is simply not worth it. Like, even trading for, Marc-Andre Fleury, for example, it's a decent prospect, high top four potential defenseman and a second-round pick and potentially a little bit more. Bottom line is the asking prices are just way too high, so I think I'm going to bite the bullet for now until we get closer to the trade deadline. And who knows, maybe this first season will just be a little bit of a waste and we'll be able to do some damage in the postseason and with the draft. I certainly want to acquire as many picks as possible heading into this next draft. But getting into the sim, Greiss will start these next 4 games. We'll see how he does. It will be a 2-loss policy with our goaltenders, and we'll see how they do to start the sim. Let's find out. Greiss, don't let me down. So overall, not the worst stretch of games for us so far in the season. 3 consecutive wins for Greiss before this 6-4 loss to the Senators. Halak is back in for this game against the Philadelphia Flyers, and he actually picks up his first win in a while. Now, the reason I'm going live here from this point on, I meant to explain this at the start of the episode, honestly, and I forgot. I didn't do a very good job of explaining how the rosters are set up right now. As far as the 2016 draft class goes, as the menu glitches out, god damn it. Well, now that I have free time, as far as that draft class goes, the only player right now who is currently on the NHL team that drafted him was Austin Matthews. That is because he is 18 years old in this game and is able to be put on the Maple Leafs. Everybody else, though, Puljujärvi, Patrick Laine, Mikhail Sergachev, Chychrun, doesn't matter. They are still available in the draft with some edited potentials. So they might change. I'm pretty sure Laine we put at medium or low elite. He might end up being high elite or maybe even franchise. I can't obviously control that at that point. You guys saw through the free agent list, you guys have seen through the free agent list how these player potentials just drastically change whenever the hell they want to. So I'm not sure exactly what these potentials will end up being, but don't worry, we can't draft Austin Matthews again because he is not available. Other than that, everybody else pretty much is, and again, I don't know what the order will be. We will have to wait and see on that. But yeah, no worries, Austin Matthews will not be a New York Islander. He is already a Toronto Maple Leaf, so no concerns there. P.A. Parenteau is back from injury, which is good news for us. He didn't go down for too long. In that stretch of games, we also lost Calvin DeHaan for a little bit of time. Nothing major, but any injuries right now with this team, as weak as it is, can be pretty damn detrimental. Greiss right now with a .923 save percentage through 20 games. That would certainly explain why we've started to turn it around a little bit despite the shootout loss to Detroit. Klaus Dahlbeck goes down to injury. We will stop the sim, though, and I will actually, you know what, fuck it. We'll just keep it live. We'll sim these next 3 games and see how Greiss does. He loses to Minnesota. He loses to Washington. I should take him out. But we'll play him against Detroit. We get a 4-1 win. All right, so not the best stretch of games there. We will play Halak, obviously, in the next one. If Halak wins this, we'll go with him for the next couple of games. So a little bit disappointed in Greiss with that stretch. I'm sure actually his save percentage went up. I guess maybe I should blame the offense or the defense for their lack of support. We're not in last place in our division, which is good, but I mean, is it really that good for a team that had hopes to make the playoffs? Let's see. Dahlbeck is back. Halak gets the win, and we are going to sim these next 5 games, and we'll see what Jaro Halak can do. Again, not the worst stretch of games. 26, 23, and 8 now in this season as we approach the trade deadline. Still out of a playoff spot we are in the superior conference right now, being in the Metro with the five teams ahead of us all being in a playoff spot. We'll actually take a look at the standings. I'm not sure what the point totals are looking like, although I'm sure it's not going to be looking very good for us at this point. The overtime losses might help, though. 8 overtime losses is pretty good for the point total. And we are actually a point back of the Rangers with a game at hand, so we are right in the mix. Obviously, we can't really compete with the elite of the division, Pittsburgh and Washington, but we definitely have a chance to make the playoffs now that our goaltending is starting to steady up just a little bit. Can we get the win here now that I say that? We can't, and Grice injures his ankle. God damn it. Now, after taking a look at a few trading blocks, we have made a trade. I really wanted to use Thomas Hickey in this game. I think he would be a very solid defender to have on the third pairing. But because we're battling for a playoff spot, I feel comfortable making this trade. Hickey goes to the Flyers for Mark Streit, a 4th and a 5th in this next draft. So interesting, with Streit, of course, being 37 years old, I do believe, and he has a hell of a cap hit on him. But we'll see if this pans out. We are making moves to attempt to be a playoff team. Now, the Streit trade was risky. This could cripple our team for years to come. I'm not sure. I have a feeling I'm going to regret this trade. But I want to make the playoffs, and I think this makes us a better team. Roberto Luongo was traded to Nashville, obviously from Florida. We are going to trade Yaroslav Halak, Cal Clutterbuck, which would open up a spot for Shane Prince to be on the roster, and Loic Leduc to the Preds for Roberto Luongo in his 7-year deal, which hopefully to God he retires within the next few years. Stefan Elliott, Scott Valentine, a little bit of depth down in Bridgeport to make them better, and a 4th in 2017 and a 5th in this year's draft. I'm going to hit the button so I don't regret it. Roberto Luongo has come full circle and is once again a New York Islander. So guys, as it stands, here is the team. Now I will say this. I attempted to get the Sedins. I might still be able to do it, but Vancouver refuses to retain salary. I don't think I've ever gotten a computer GM to actually retain salary, so I'm not quite sure why it's a feature. But anyway, here is the lineup as it stands. Top line, Lad Tavares Parento, Lee Bailey Strome. Third line, Shane Prince is with Brock Nelson and Mikhail Grabovski. Kuhlman with Cizikas and Chimera on the fourth line. Defensively, it's still Letty Boychuk. Hamonic now plays with Mark Streit, who was unfortunately down an overall point, and is 38, not 37. So again, a little bit of a risky trade. Calvin DeHaan is with Klaus Dahlbeck for the moment until Brendan Gormley returns. The goaltender, Roberto Luongo, Yanni Ordio, currently the backup until Thomas Grice comes back. So what we are going to do here is I believe we have 3 games between now and trade deadline day. We will sim those 3 games and then see if anybody else has appeared on the trading block. We are in the middle of a playoff battle. You know, you can easily say Carolina's out of it. Columbus is quickly falling out of it. It's going to be a dogfight to make the playoffs this year. But hopefully with Streit and Luongo, we can do that. So we are going to sim to the 29th, one day before trade deadline day. Let's see how the team does with Streit and Luongo and Shane Prince in the lineup. Unfortunately, in the 4 games since the trades, it hasn't gone particularly well with a 1-2-1 record, and unfortunately there hasn't been anybody else we have been able to acquire. We have sent out some free agent offers, and at least one of them accepted, just to bolster up Bridgeport and to, just get a little bit of depth in case the injuries really keep adding up. Jesse Winchester is here. He might have been the only one to accept. I think it freezes after this game. Did we get anybody else? Kuhlman goes down to injury. That's not what I had in mind. And okay, good. Gragnani is here, Tim Jackman, and Drew McIntyre, the 4 players that we signed. Not exactly the players I was expecting to get, but let me go fix the lineup, and of course we will God, we will sim ahead. How far do we want to go? Because let's see, we have that far into April, quite a few back-to-backs. Let's go to March, April 1st. We'll sim to April 1st unless anything truly important happens. We will go to April 1st, and then from there we'll sim it game by game if we're actually in the playoff race at that point. We have reached April 1st, and despite a laundry list of injuries, seriously, I don't think we've gone a single week, without at least one injury. We had a pretty damn good month considering, and that puts our record at 37, 31, and 9 on the season. That is good enough for the first wild card spot in the Eastern Conference with 5 games to go. Right now, let's get a look at the standings. We are tied with the Devils in points, but we do have a game at hand. We are 4 points above the Rangers. The Jackets and Hurricanes are out of it. Let's take a look at the Atlantic Division here to see what their point totals are looking like. 80 points for the Habs. So we are currently clear by 3 points. We are 3 points, and we have a game at hand on Montreal as well. So things are looking pretty good for us at the moment, despite this many injuries, which is simply incredible. But let's move forward here. 5 games left. Anything can happen, including this big game against Pittsburgh, a huge game against the Lightning, who are just amazing. Washington's amazing. A gigantic game against New York. Buffalo sucks, so hopefully we can beat them. Let's sim these next 2 games. Luongo is in goal. Big game against the Pens. Can we get a win, please? And we do. Holy shit, we actually beat them. All right, 4-3 win over Pittsburgh. Can we get a win over Tampa? We cannot. Oh, fucking hell. Okay, so we're still in a wild card spot, which is good. But I really would have liked to have gotten that win over the Lightning. Luongo right now, only a .912 save percentage. We haven't had the best goaltending this year. Grice has been okay, a .929. And if he can get a win here, I might just go with him against the Rangers. I'm not sure. First off, he has to get the win. He gets a 5-0 shutout over the 45-win Capitals. He gets the Ranger game. Let's do this. A win here would seal a playoff spot, and that is terrible as Nick Leddy goes down for a week to injury. 40, 32, and 9 on the season. 1 game to go, but I'm pretty damn sure. Actually, no, I'm not. I'm not sure anymore. 89 points. Okay, we should be good here. Yeah, we're good. Montreal can't catch us. We're good. We have a playoff spot. It's just a matter of what seed is it. Can the Devils take that away from us? I don't think they can, because if regulation plus overtime wins, we'd be equal in losses. That would be very interesting. We could finish with identical records with the Devils. So hopefully we can get a win here against the lowly Buffalo Sabres. Klaus Dahlbeck is in for Nick Leddy. Luongo is in the goal. Can he seal us a little bit better of a playoff spot? And we win in a shootout. That is good enough. And somehow, some way, the New York Islanders are a playoff team. But I don't think we're going to be a playoff team for long, as we have to face the Pittsburgh Penguins in the first round of the goddamn... Oh, that's so bittersweet. Like, I am so happy we made the playoffs, especially with some of our struggles. But my God, man. They finished with 11 points more than us. Did Pittsburgh... How close were they to the Presidents? Actually, they weren't. Jesus, man. Tampa Bay, 114 points. A 56-win season for the Lightning. Oh, God. This is not going to be a very fun matchup. I did want to check the AHL as well. Bridgeport has a chance to make the playoffs as well. That'd be nice, although it's not like we have too many people down there that we're really trying to progress. I should mention, too, Yanni Ordio got claimed on waivers when we had to send him down once Grice came back following the Luongo trade. But that is it for this season, guys. Season 1 is technically a success. This is the lineup we have been rolling with. Everybody is healthy with the exception of our best defenseman, Nick Leddy. Of course, in the next episode, God, we take on Pittsburgh, but I don't know, guys. I don't know what to say. It would be a massive, massive upset to win, but we will find out in the next episode. As always, I hope you enjoyed. If you did, make sure to hit that like button down below. Helps out the channel, and of course, I would appreciate it. And subscribe if you haven't already to continue following this series, although I have to say Season 1 might be over sooner rather than later. But anyways, guys, that is it, and I will catch you guys in the next episode.